Welcome to Taming Your Google Business Profile with me, Sean Stanton, brought to you by the Austin Area Chamber of Commerce in Austin, Minnesota. In this workshop, we're going to cover a lot of good stuff. What is a Google Business Profile? Why it's important? The key components of an optimized profile, how to navigate the dashboard, best practices, using Google Posts, managing your reviews, and how to add booking and reservation options, and adding products even. And we'll have even more than that, but let's get started. You've seen them, I'm sure, but let's just make sure we're all on the same page of what is a Google Business Profile. It's free for business owners. You can manage it right from your phone or from a desktop, and it shows people a quick glimpse into your business. Essentially, it is a business card online for millions of people to see. You'll notice when you do a Google search, yes, your website and Facebook pages might be there, like on the left-hand column, but what's always there is your Google Business Profile to the right. It shows us where you are, what you do, what people think of you. It shows photos, it shows your business hours, a lot of good information all captured right in one space. And the same is true on Google Maps. You'll notice on the left-hand column, there's the Google Business Profile with the location information. On the right-hand side is the bigger map. So why are these important? Why should you pay attention to them or do anything with your Google Business Profile? Don't you just let Google do that stuff for you? Sure, it will create some level of a semblance of a profile, but considering that this is your single largest source of organic exposure for your business online, probably more than most people's websites, it's important that you take an active management role of your Google Business Profile. According to Google, customers are twice as likely to interact with businesses that have more information available on their Google Business Profile. And by interactions, they're talking about calls to your business, visits, or messages. In other words, potential customers. Also, according to Google, an up-to-date business profile are 70% more likely to attract location visits and 50% more likely to lead to a purchase. Let's think of this from the user's point of view. You're on your phone, you're in a new city, you're checking things out. You want to know what's going on, and Google Business Profiles help reduce uncertainty. The Google Business Profile gives searchers certainty about their decisions. Another reason why it's important for you to focus on your Google Business Profile now is that search engines like Google and platforms like ChatGPT are going to completely bypass the need for web users to visit websites. I'm not saying that they're going to entirely forego going to a website, and I'm not saying that websites will be worthless, but they're going to be worth less because all of the answers that searchers are looking for appear typically now in your first view. So it's either on the Google Business Profile or it might be in the top box answer that's been pulled from a variety of sources. Our search engines, our AI chats are all designed to get the answers to us immediately or without having to do a lot of clicking. Here's a case in point. When I'm Googling a local business and I see their Google Business Profile come up at the top, and I see everything I need to know in order to find my way there, to contact them to see if they're open. I can also often see reviews or products they might offer right in this view. It supersedes the need for me to go down to their website. And before we leave the Google Business Profile for Austin Builder Supply, note the business category listed below their star rankings. It says Building Material Supplier. These business categories need to be correct for your business in order to establish the entire framework of the Google Business Profile. If you like choices, you're going to love Google Business Categories because there are 4,000 potential categories from which you can choose. Google wants you to have one primary category, but then there are literally thousands of other categories from which you can choose, but choose just one or two more. In fact, if you have any seasonality to your business, perhaps you do landscaping and lawn care during the summer, for instance, and then do snow removal in the winter. you can actually adjust those secondary categories, change them up for the season. And the QR code and the short link that you see here will bring you to a spreadsheet just with all of those 4,000 business categories. Take a look. Make sure that your existing categories make sense for your business. Don't try to game the system. Google will not appreciate that. Stick with 3 categories total, but just make sure that they're correct for you. We've also generated a landing page that has that link as well as some other information. So you can go to austincoc.com/Google Business Profiles Resources, all separated by dashes. That'll bring you to this landing page. And in this search where I looked for plumbers near me, I found a group of folks who are all in home services, the home services master category. And then TNG Plumbing comes up as plumber number 1. And then Aaron's Heating and Cooling is displaying as their primary category the HVAC contractor. Hardy Mechanical is showing as a mechanical contractor. So in other words, if I'm looking for a plumber, I might be more tempted to choose someone who actually displays plumbing or has plumbing in their name, at least the business name. So on that count, TNG Plumbing is ranking number 1 for me, and not just because it's displaying first, but because it's hitting my buttons. Plumber, looking for a plumber. Notice this other thing. Because of the way that they've set up their Google Business Profile, they're also displaying a quote button. I've got that highlighted on the screen. That's a differentiator amongst the returns that I'm seeing. Do you see this? There's a quote button, but I don't see that quote button on the other 2. That's an opportunity for those other businesses to get a quote button out there and open up a new channel for communication, to have a new lead come in right from this phone transaction. Here's an example of a retail category, Shoe Sensation. Their subcategory is a shoe store, and they have a products button. They took advantage of this. Not everyone will display these, but Shoe Sensation was smart enough to say, hey, we sell shoes, people are online, we want to show them the kinds of shoes we have. So this is a great way to make sure that I know I'm in the right place and start to see their products. For restaurants, main category, Downtown Grill is a great example. They have their menu available. Just press the button and display the menu. Here's an example of the health and wellness category. The Mod Med Spa, which you'll notice their subcategory below the stars, is a medical spa. They're able to focus on their category, but because of their main category, they're able to show services, which is going to be important for them because they are a service-oriented business. And here's one for Riverland Community College. It's an educational institution, obviously, and they're able to show some things that other categories cannot. The cost of tuition, the programs they offer, and the outcomes. I think those are legally required to be displayed, but it's built right into their Google Business Profile. And automotive, another big category. Asa Auto is showing as a car dealer in Austin. They have a vehicles button available to them as that automotive category. So regardless of category, I think what you're seeing here is that the Google Business Profile is super important, probably more important than most people's websites. So you need to make sure that you're spending the appropriate amount of energy in your Google Business Profile to make sure it displays to your potential customers in a way that will help them to visit, call, or order something from you online. And you can access your Google Business Profile in a couple different ways. If you are logged in on the Business Google Profile, you can access your Google Business Profile on Google Maps or on the Google Search. So for example, on Google Search, I'm the administrator for the Austin Area Chamber of Commerce. So when I searched for the Austin Area Chamber on Google, and I was already logged into our Google profile, I'm able to see the dashboard right away. And this is the gateway to all sorts of activities regarding the Google Business Profile and improving it. There are also the handy 3 little dots that give you more options to modify your settings or to look at notifications. You can even add a new business profile. You can get help and support and send feedback from those three dots. I also just made a button on my phone so that I can access that business profile with ease. The other way to access your Google Business Profile, assuming you are logged in on Google with your business, then you can access it right from Maps as well. So you search for your business on Maps. You'll see once you're logged in, you will see your business profile right there. From there, you're able to access a dashboard of controls just like on the Google search platform, where you can edit the profile, create promotions, reach customers. For example, on the Edit Profile button, once you press that, you'll see a pop-up that has the business information panel, hours, services, and photos. We will walk through some of these today so that you get a sense of how to change them and why it's important. When you press the Promote button, you can track the performance of your Google Business Profile. You can choose to advertise through there. You can add updates, you can add offers and add events, which are all great ways to engage with your potential customers, but also to show Google that you are an active Google Business Profile. Now, under the Customers button, you're going to be able to see reviews and respond to those. You'll be able to set your call settings. And you can look at messages and respond to those from there. And you can also develop a Q&A so that people can have their questions answered, or you can respond directly to their questions. But you can also set up a Q&A so you don't have to answer the same question 100 times. Let's take a look at how one particular business actually put some optimization into effect for their Google Business Profile. This is Lakeside Coffee, and they had a problem. They have a great shop. It's up north in Minnesota, and it's in the lakes area, but they were really struggling to find customers that they needed, even though they had a great location and a beautiful shop. So their challenge was to increase the visibility among the local community and attract more foot traffic for those summer months, especially when people are visiting with their boats and families. Remember, we said the idea of the Google Business Profile is to reduce uncertainty in the searcher's mind. Well, the Lakeside Coffee House decided to add a bunch of photos, beautiful photos of their shop and their products, to give people a sense that this place was very nice, a nice way to spend part of the summer vacation lakeside. And according to Google, 90% of customers are more likely to visit a business that has photos on a search results page. I would add, especially if the rest of those businesses don't have photos. So then it's a matter of, if you have photos and your competitor has photos, who has the right look for that particular searcher? Am I looking for a casual experience? Am I looking for an upscale experience? Am I looking for a specific type of product set versus another type? So this gives me that idea of what the style of your place is. Those photos are important to communicate your style and cleanliness and the experience and all these things. And that's why photos are very powerful. How do you add photos? Well, it's one of the buttons. Let's go back to you'll see it on the top row, the fourth button in, says Add Photo. Then you get a pop-up. It's photo, logo, or cover photo options. And from there, you just choose the photo, select your photos. Now, I will make one caveat here. I've not been able to find a way to tag photos to give them context. So in other words, I can't display text with my photo upload like I can in Facebook. And I think that's a potential liability, because you want to say, hey, here's our latte. However, the workaround here is to make a post, and we're going to be covering that as well. So we'll actually do an update in the Google Business Profile, much like a Facebook post, and that way you can take that same great photo, but then give it the keywords that are going to help searchers find it. So if you're making a chai latte at the Lakeside Cafe, you might just have that photo used in a post and say, delicious chai latte, people love it, variety of flavors, that kind of thing. So then that will be available to searchers as well and be able to use that same photo. And speaking of updates, let's talk about how to add one. Again, it's a button. Now, this is on the bottom row, and there is a little toggle triangle you can see to the far right on the second row. You might have to toggle that open to display these two additional buttons, but Add Update is one of them. You press that, and then you will see the pop-up with the where you add your photo and you add the text. You can even add buttons for receiving messages, calls, that sort of thing. So then you would post that. You're not going to get the same type of engagement that you do on Facebook with a post. There isn't a like, love type option here. So we're not doing this for the endorphin rush that you get on Facebook when you see people interacting with your posts. This is strictly outward bound. You are using keywords and beautiful photos so that you're helping searchers decide on your business. And there are different types of posts, and you should take advantage of all of them when you can. There's the update, like we're talking about. Just giving a quick update. Could be a business hour update, holiday update, news and fun stuff. And then there's the offer, where you actually might have a specific percentage off or a free initial try. Those are under the offer category. And then events. If you can do events, that's a great way to get people into your location. Throw a class, this is a sip and shop example. You can do live music. It's really up to you to be creative about how to use these different types of posts. We all know the importance of reviews, and they can be great, they can be detrimental. So this is the button where you manage those reviews on your Google Business profile. The second button on the top row, read reviews, will also allow you to respond to reviews. For example, if you're responding to reviews, all you have to do is look for that little reply arrow right below the review, and that brings you to the reply screen. You'll also notice the three little gray buttons on the right-hand side. When you click into those threes, you can share the review with the link that they'll provide you. You can drop that into Facebook or whatnot. But I also wanted to talk about the report review. When is it appropriate to report a review? If a review is just nasty, obviously hostile, the worst thing you could do is fire back with negative commentary. Determine whether the comment has any validity. Was it a bad night for an employee, bad product? Find out what that problem is. See if that's a legitimate complaint. Secondly, do not exacerbate the problem by going after the reviewer. That doesn't help. What you can do is say, take that feedback seriously. We are always trying to improve what we do. Thank you. I hope you'll give us another try. Something simple and easy. If it's a legitimate review, that's it. The only thing you can really do to counteract it is to show the rest of the world that you are a fair and reasonable person. They may be able to read between the lines, and if the reviewer has a generally sour disposition, many readers of reviews are able to pick up on that, and they will give the business a break. They're not going to hold it against you that someone is looking for problems. Just don't yourself be part of the problem. But things that are off topic, that have nothing to do with your business, those are certainly able to be removed. We had a situation at the Chamber of Commerce where someone was in town on a Sunday and they didn't feel enough of the local restaurants were open during the time that they were there. So they left a 1-star review for the Austin Area Chamber of Commerce. And we have nothing to do with setting business hours in the city, believe it or not. So I was able to report the review, and I picked that it was off topic, and Google kindly removed it for me. So it's great that we're receiving reviews. Just organically, people have great experiences and they share those on the Google Business profile. But let's be proactive and let's ask for reviews. And why is it important to ask for reviews? Well, let's play a quick game of Would You Rather. Would you rather wait for random reviewers to display their reviews on your Google Business profile, or would you rather have cheerleaders that you've selected to help you get good reviews for your business? Guess what, folks? That's what that button is for. Ask for reviews. When you click it, you get this pop-up where it gives you the link, gives you a WhatsApp link. You can send it through email or Facebook, but I generally just press the copy symbol, get that link so I can put it wherever I want, like in an email. And I found, for me, one-to-one emails typically work better than a broad ask like in an email newsletter. I have found great success by reaching out one cheerleader at a time. For example, in this note, to my friend Lee, saying, "Hey, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a Google review for the chamber." And I'm not telling him what to say. I'm not telling him to give us a 5 star. I'm just asking for him to take time to review because he's an engaged member of the Chamber of Commerce. So when you're thinking of your cheerleaders, think about types of personalities that you would ask. You're going to ask positive people who have had great experiences with you. Why? Because they're going to leave great reviews. So if you happen to have 2 or 3 negative reviews, this is going to start piling on top of those, and people are going to see another story being told by your cheerleaders. In many Google Business categories, you are able to add products to your Google Business profile. We looked at the shoe sensation example before, and when you press that edit products, this is the pop-up that you're going to see. You can add them manually one by one, but Google and its partners have developed a pretty interesting thing. It's called Pointy. It's a free Google tool that gives retailers an easy way at the point of sale to add products. It's essentially a barcode scanner that draws that product information right into the Google Business profile. It automatically pulls in the title, image, and description. Then those products display on your Google Business profile. And this can display in a couple of different ways. For example, if someone is searching using local search for, in this example, a cat toy near me, those businesses with cat toys are going to rank. And if you were the pet store with the products that are already imported, those are going to display on your Google Business profile, including pricing and availability. This is free to retailers, so you can just reach out to Google and get this Pointy app. And if you don't have a barcoder, they can set you up with one. Write to them at support@pointy.com. Now let's talk about how to add booking and reservations. Let's meet Radiant Soul Yoga Studio. They were a new studio and they offer classes which they charge for, and they would like to get students in and hopefully have increased registrations. But no one was seeing their classes. They had their classes available on their website, and they would try to promote their website, but it wasn't really clicking. They weren't seeing the signups that they wanted to. Then they integrated booking right into their Google Business profile. And as you can see in this list of other yoga studios around them, out of about 80 that I checked, they were the only ones that actually had the integrated scheduling and booking feature turned on for their Google Business profile, which makes it very easy for a Google user to just sign up for a class right from their phone or read more about a particular class. No additional clicks necessary. You're not leaving the Google ecosphere to do this. Radiant Soul has its own booking application that it uses called Wellness Living. So it was able to use the Wellness Living app that it already used to integrate with with the Google Business Profile booking. How do they do that? Well, let's go back to the booking button back on the Google Business Profile menu. When you click on that, you see a booking URL, and your app, if it doesn't natively just integrate right away, will provide a link that you would place here. So it would bring Google users right to your booking platform and integrate that for you. And there are plenty of options for booking and reservations apps. You see a few here, there's a few more here, and even more here. So likely your industry has something you're already using or can use for free or cheap that works with integrating with Google Business Profile booking feature. You can find those here at the google.com/maps/reserve/partners, or you can go to our landing page that we discussed earlier. For the chamber, we used bookings through Office. And you can see that in the appointments section of our Google Business Profile. When a user clicks on that, they are choosing a chamber membership meeting option. That's actually linked to our staff's calendar so that there's real availability represented in these dates and times. These are some of the key things that you should focus on in your Google Business Profile. So the real question is, what will you do next? What are you going to take away from this and actually get done in your Google Business Profile? Don't wait, just get in there and start. Maybe your action item is to ask for reviews. Well, guess what? I'd like to do the same thing. If you don't mind, would you please rate and review the Austin Area Chamber of Commerce? We really appreciate your kind words. Thank you so much.